Iraq's currency revaluation nears reality. IMF submission confirms critical milestone by Iraqi Dinar RV, July 29, 2025, in a significant development that could reshape Iraq's financial landscape. New reports confirm that Iraq has formally submitted a revised exchange rate to the International Monetary Fund, IMF. This submission, confirmed by respected dinar commentator Frank 26 during a recent broadcast, is a vital step in Iraq's monetary evolution and signals a transition from planning to execution. For the dedicated community of investors and observers who have followed Iraq's currency reform process, this update is nothing short of monumental. While rumors and speculative timelines have dominated discussions for years, this latest confirmation marks a rare moment where real, actionable movement is visible on the global financial stage. At Iraqi Dinar RV, our mission has always been to cut through the noise and focus on verified patterns, institutional actions, and credible insights. As of today, the landscape has shifted. IMF submission. A defining signal according to Frank 26, Iraq's new exchange rate has been officially submitted to the IMF. This is not a projection or theory, it is a procedural confirmation. In global finance, a nation must submit its proposed exchange rate changes to the IMF for review and technical alignment. The IMF's role here is not to authorize, but to coordinate and ensure seamless integration with international financial systems. The submission implies that the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, has finalized its internal decisions. There's no longer a debate about whether to revalue. Instead, the focus is now entirely on when to activate the change. For followers of Iraqi monetary reform, this is a long-anticipated milestone. The submission means all preliminary planning is complete. The CBI, IMF, and supporting institutions are now aligned, and the rate awaits only the strategic moment of public release. A quiet period before activation, Frank 26 emphasized that Iraq has entered what he describes as a quiet period. This is not inactivity, but a deliberate silence, a strategic pause before executing the final step. The idea is to allow banking systems, regional partners, and digital infrastructure to stabilize before the revaluation is made public. Frank has been notably cautious in the past with his terminology, rarely making definitive claims unless supported by solid intelligence. This time, he linked the submission to Iraq's official financial calendar and broader economic reforms, signaling that this isn't just another rumor cycle, but a deliberate, timed move. Evidence of nationwide readiness, several indicators back the claim that Iraq is ready to enact a new monetary reality. One banking system upgrades across Iraq. ATMs are being updated to process transactions with 3 decimal places. Given the current low valuation of the dinar, this technical change would serve no purpose unless the currency's value was expected to rise significantly. This shift in ATM capabilities is not isolated. It reflects a broader upgrade to core banking software, teller reporting systems, and customer service frameworks, suggesting full institutional readiness. 2. Training for new rate operations. Frank 26 reports that Iraqi bank employees are now being trained to handle transactions at the anticipated new exchange rate. Teller reports, internal memos, and banking simulations are already being conducted behind closed doors. These are not speculative efforts. Such comprehensive training would only occur if a change were imminent. 3. Blockchain-based accounting and eDinar platform. Another powerful indicator is Iraq's recent completion of a blockchain-based accounting system designed for the electronic dinar. Fully ISO 20022 compliant, this system is reportedly tested, approved, and ready for deployment. The infrastructure supports real-time digital settlements, both domestically and internationally, under the new rate. With this in place, Iraq's central bank ensures that global transactions can proceed seamlessly the moment the rate is revealed. Iraq's global currency strategy, one of the most compelling trends in recent months, has been Iraq's move to reduce dependence on the US dollar in trade and finance. Through currency swap agreements, direct dinar-based contracts, and settlements in euros and Chinese yuan, Iraq is gradually asserting monetary sovereignty. This strategy is not merely symbolic. For Iraq to engage equitably in international trade, it needs a currency with recognized and functional value. A suppressed dinar undermines that ambition. A revaluation, therefore, is not just a domestic financial reform. It's a necessary economic upgrade for international competitiveness. As Frank 26 stated, these moves are national preparations for a significant economic emergence. Iraq's intent is clear: to position the dinar as a modern, trusted currency on the global stage. Private banking memos and internal use of new rate, perhaps the most intriguing detail in Frank 26's report, involves leaked private banking memos. These documents suggest that several banks within Iraq have already started back-end simulations using the new rate. They're analyzing liquidity impacts, client response models, and cash flow projections under the revalued currency. Such preparatory steps are complex and typically executed under direct authorization from the central bank. Their existence points to an internal acknowledgement that the revaluation is no longer hypothetical. It's active policy being rolled out. Q3 implementation timeline. The timeline provided by Frank 26 places the expected activation window between mid-July and early August, falling squarely within Q3 of Iraq's fiscal calendar. This timeframe coincides with several critical events: IMF compliance milestones, activation of updated banking systems, global contract, realignments, public sector training, and simulations. Iraq's alignment with these milestones shows an intent to deploy full monetary sovereignty protocols in Q3 2025. Frank 26 emphasized that no further approvals are needed. Iraq has met all the IMF's procedural requirements. Now, it's only a matter of timing. Smart money is moving in the background. A less publicized but telling trend is the movement of institutional investors. According to Frank 26 and financial observers, countries like Jordan, Turkey, and Singapore are quietly increasing their Iraqi dinar holdings. Additionally, dinar-based government bonds are reportedly being purchased at increasing volumes. This behavior from central banks and large financial institutions, what's often called smart money, suggests confidence in a forthcoming change. These entities rarely make high-risk moves without credible forecasts. Their positioning reinforces the belief that a monetary shift is imminent. A new era for the Iraqi dinar. All the signs point to one undeniable conclusion: Iraq is no longer preparing for a currency revaluation. It is executing it. The IMF has the rate. Banks are trained and systems upgraded. Global financial partners are aligning. Blockchain and eDinar platforms are ready. The activation window is open. What remains now is the final step: public disclosure and implementation. At Iraqi Dinar RV, we urge our community to remain alert during this critical window. Based on institutional behavior, technical changes, and verified disclosures, it's reasonable to suggest that Iraq is not just talking about reform anymore. They are enacting it. This is not the beginning of the journey. This is the final stretch. Closing thoughts. Whether you're a long-time investor or new to the Iraqi dinar space, these recent developments represent a culmination of years of strategic moves. Iraq's journey to reclaim monetary sovereignty has not been easy, but the evidence now shows a country ready to stake its position on the global economic map. Stay informed, stay grounded, and as always, subscribe to Iraqi Dinar RV for objective updates and real financial insight. The noise is loud, but the truth is louder, and it's happening now. Disclaimer: this article is intended for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. The foreign exchange market is inherently risky and prone to misinformation. Consult with qualified professionals before making any investment decision. Iraqi Dinar RV is not liable for any losses or damages resulting from the use or reliance on this content.